Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. It is February the 12th, Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
Yep.
Although we're not celebrating President's Day until next Monday.
Yep.
So those of you that want another 3-day holiday weekend, it's around the corner. Then you're on your own in March and, April. No, the end of March, you got Easter.
Got Easter.
You got Easter in March. April, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's a lonely month without a holiday.
It will be. Well, are they going to do spring break? St. Johns County?
I don't know. Spring break's not a holiday for everybody because not everybody has kids. Not everybody has kids.
I mean,
some of you people,
are you suggesting the world doesn't revolve around me?
You just had children so you could do spring break. That's the only reason you had children. Just admit it.
Our spring break is in February.
Yes. Admit it. And you wanted the Christmas gifts from the kids.
Yeah, that's not the way that works. Not the way that works.
Christmas gifts from kids are hilarious.
They are hilarious.
They are hilarious.
We should add that to 5 questions.
Yes, we can.
What's the funniest Christmas gift you ever got from a kid?
Oh, that would be good. All right, let's make some money for the show. And then there might be a few things to talk about today. Maybe there's too much to talk about today, but we'll pare it down to just the cool stuff. All right, Salomon Services. It's the premier place for personal training in St. Augustine. They have both youth and adult training classes, small group strength and fitness development classes. If you're looking to get faster or more agile, that's me, agile. They can help you with that too. If you're injured, they can get you back on the court or the field in better shape than you were before. They've got a state-of-the-art center with both indoor and outdoor turf areas, and all of their coaches are certified through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. Call and make an appointment today, 904-461-9945 or salomonservices.com. Sign up today. Like, it's not too late to save. I'm going to get in shape. It's only the 12th of February. You got plenty of time.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time.
And some of us put it off until Lent. So Carmelo's Pizza is still on the table. Carmelo's Pizza is locally owned and operated by the Tringali family. They were voted best pizza 9 years in a row. They have New York-style brick oven pizza. They also serve salads, subs, wings, and more. But the Tringali family also owns 123 Burger House. Voted best burgers 3 years running. They've got chicken, wings, salads, authentic wood-fired pizza, and don't forget ice cream for dessert. Both restaurants offer dine-in, takeout, or delivery through Bite Squad and Grubhub. The Tringali family and all their staff would love to share dinner with you, so head on over and get some dinner. We also have Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. This temperature is still gonna drop. It's gonna get colder. It's gonna get hotter.
It's gonna be 47 in a couple of days.
It's crazy. So call Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. Their dedication to customer service has been evident in everything that they do. From the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home, they are working to make you comfortable and confident in the care and service you receive from Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. Their fleet of 10-plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they are ready to serve you around the clock, and they never close. Their emergency services are always open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays. They are a locally owned business, 36 years plus, more than that now, and they service all heating and air conditioning brands. Call Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating and air needs.
And Land Title of America. We're going to start this week off right. Whether you realize it or not, when you refinance the sale or purchase of a home, there's a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town company that doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local. Choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins, 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because
they give a crap.
Yes, they do. They're really, really good. Also, tips for kids. Tuesday, March 5th. You can go to all kinds of amazing places. The Ameris crew will be at Forge Garage. All the tips are given to Big Brothers Big Sisters, so it's a big fundraiser for them. So if you want to take your spouse out to dinner, want to take your significant other, get a Jiffy Burger, run out to the Forge Garage and support Big Brothers and Big Sisters. It's a great cause. Right?
Tip well.
Tip well.
Yes.
Tip often, tip well. And make sure you give those celebrities, waiters, and waitresses something to think about.
Absolutely.
And according to the Jackie Hurd calendar, which we love.
We do love it.
Today's a blank day. So we filled in Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
We did. Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
We filled that in. We took care of that. And 12 is the magic number.
12.
12 is our magic number today.
All right.
12 days to the Florida Man Games.
12 days to
12 days from now will be Florida Man Games, the most epic game ever to go on in the state of Florida. I know that there have been World Series in the state of Florida. I know that we have had Super Bowls in the state of Florida. We have national college championships have been held in the state of Florida. They pale in comparison.
The Super Bowl has been
paled multiple times. Pales in comparison. Florida Man Games will obviously be the most watched event ever in the history of Florida. There's going to be more people watching that than they watch the recount of the 2000 election. Oh, yeesh.
Why you got to bring that up?
Well, I'm just trying to make the Florida Man Games sound a whole lot more exciting than that.
Recount of 2011?
Huh?
2011? 2000.
2000.
2000 recount.
2000 recount. Ugh. One Albert Gore and one W. W.
Who won that?
W won that. Well, according to some people, the Supreme Court decided it.
Yes.
Selected, not elected, I believe, was the comments.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I just kind of running through that.
People get salty.
So, did you have anything super happen over the weekend?
It did. It was my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. Mm-hmm.
It was the 40th anniversary of her 29th birthday.
Did you give her a tile?
No.
We have tiles underneath it. They're still giving those away.
I can give it.
Could take another tile home. Yeah, sure. She's almost got the whole bathroom redone in the 0.5K.
It's her backsplash.
It is her backsplash. Yes.
Perfect.
It'd be awesome. No, it was. So happy birthday to your mom.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it when she comments in the comments about you.
I know.
Awesome.
That's just because she roasts me in the comments.
Yes.
Yep. It's not nice.
Barbara Jean says she's got her VIP tickets for the 24th.
Yes, she does.
Woo.
I've got it on good authority that I'm working in the VIP tent. I'm so sorry to all the VIPs.
Oh.
You got to deal with me.
What are you doing in the VIP tent?
Davy's brokering my volunteering for the Florida Man Games.
Okay.
So I think I'm working with Davy in the volunteer tent. I don't know what I'm doing, so who knows?
Yeah.
I'm voluntolding, I guess.
You're going to voluntold. That's a good thing.
I'll do what I'm told.
I left town, so I couldn't be voluntold.
That is what you do.
I'm leaving town.
Yeah. I was supposed to be out of town, but that didn't work out.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. Florida Man Games are going to be awesome. Are we live streaming these games? Do you know?
Nobody's told me.
Yeah.
Nobody's told me. Maybe that's what I'm doing.
I'm trying to see if I can watch them from where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to figure out how to hook up to Instagram or what all these different. Stuff is going to be posted everywhere. If I type in Florida Man Games, stuff is going to be coming up all day long.
I could theoretically live stream stuff on my phone onto the St. Augustine receiving page.
That would be pretty cool.
If something cool is going down,
that'd be pretty cool.
Then I could get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, the CPS Carnival is that weekend.
It is.
So
I've never gone.
If you want to warm up, you've never been. You've never taken your children to the CPS.
My kids have gone with friends, and so it becomes a date night for me.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good way to work the system.
It sounds like a perfect plan to me.
The Jimmy Jam fam is coming with 20 volunteers too. Tim Goss and the Jimmy Jam guys are awesome.
They are awesome.
Yep. So you're going to save Pete's life.
So now I know that I'm not going to have to do everything. Thank you so much, Tim and the Jimmy Jam fam.
and Pete's personal assistant has said, yes, there will be streaming. Barbara Jean.
All right. That's good.
Barbara Jean, Pete's personal assistant.
Does that mean I'm producing?
She tried to become Davy's personal assistant, but something broke down there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Barbara Jean.
Davy moves too fast. Pete's a little slower. He's easier to keep up with.
You can keep up with me. There's less exercise involved if you're Pete's personal assistant. Oh, my gosh.
There's a lot of runs to vibe.
All right. So did you and your family watch the Super Bowl yesterday?
We did.
And was it super? Was it everything that your girls thought it should be since it was the first one they've ever watched?
It wasn't the first one they've ever watched. It's just the first one they've ever actually paid attention to.
Okay.
They've been to lots of Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
But they just haven't had any interest. And so this is the first one that my kids actually sat down on the couch and paid attention for more than just the halftime show.
It was, first of all, I thought it was a good game. It was the third quarter.
The second half was good.
Well, I thought the third quarter was a little boring, right? Mm-hmm. There was a lot of big hits, and I thought the
first and second quarter were the exciting thing was the turnover, but nothing much came of the turnovers.
Hits. There were some people getting taken out to the woodshed and just beat on. But yeah, it was. I thought it was kind of fun to watch that. I guess at dinner Wednesday night, everybody picked either Taylor Swift to win or the Chiefs to win except me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't make the table unanimous, so I picked the 49ers.
Always the contrarian.
Always the contrarian. It's just, if you want to, yes, you can manipulate my actions if you all just tell me to do the opposite thing.
You are why reverse psychology works.
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. If it's overly obvious, I can tell. Yes.
There was Pete made a new announcement on the Florida Man games.
What is the new announcement?
They've got a wild ride, this whole Florida Man games thing. Come hang out with us on the 24th. They're getting a car from Daytona.
Oh, cool.
They're extremely excited to announce a partnership with Sage Karam Official and Team 26 Shelby Park Marketing for a 2024 Xfinity Series Daytona this year. Sage is a warrior and blazing a path in the tire tracks of some of the most legendary drivers in NASCAR history, and we're excited to welcome him back to Daytona this weekend.
Awesome. Congratulations to the Florida Man.
They've got Florida Man sticker on the back of his car in Daytona.
That's
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
We can show that picture.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So
look at that, everybody. Florida Man games.
Yeah. Watching the 49ers come out and watching the Chiefs come out of the tunnel, the Chiefs were all business. I was like, these guys are here to win. The 49ers were having fun coming out. They were enjoying it. But as I watched the Chiefs walk, I was like, these guys just are ready to take care of business.
Which the 49ers just ran through the Chiefs in the first. I mean, the Chiefs couldn't get any momentum in the first two quarters.
No, not a bit.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce is him and Andy Reid is Andy Reid. And
so that's kind of where you come down to the rookies versus the legends, basically. I mean, the veterans that have been there, they've done that. So you run a little too hard, a little too fast in the beginning, you wear yourself out and you can't maintain it until the finish line. Whereas the veterans kind of maintain slow and steady wins the race, and they did.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a really funny reaction moment when the final catch happens in the end zone. The Chiefs win. They do flash up to the VIP box.
Of course they did.
What's funny is everyone's like glued on the game, right? And there's Taylor Swift, and she's standing next to a rapper called Ice Spice, who's shorter than her. And then all of her friends and family are around her. And
are you height-shaming Ice Spice?
No. So there's a reason I'm saying that.
All right.
So the catch happens, and you're just seeing their reaction to it. So they're all watching it. The catch happens, and everyone erupts. But everyone launches to Taylor Swift. And so the person that might have taken the worst hit in the football game, in the Super Bowl, Ice Spice. As everyone's diving to hug Taylor Swift, you can just see Ice Spice go boom, 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 and then disappear behind all these girls hugging Taylor Swift. And I cracked up. I couldn't not laugh. As you just see, like, she's got kind of blonde, curly hair, and you just see this, like, these curls just bounce back and forth from shoulders. It's so funny.
I thought Andy Reid took the worst hit yesterday.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce was a little bit excited on the sideline. Which we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I thought it was a fun game to watch, but when the 49ers went for the field goal at the end, I was like, this game's over. The Chiefs have won. And I'm now going to watch however long it takes for them to go to the other end of the field and win this game.
Yeah.
Mahomes just has that kind of that special thing about, but the Chiefs were all saying the same thing afterwards. We're coming back for a three-peat.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't think the Chiefs have ever been like the most hated team. Like when teams get to really start to win, they become hated. The Patriots were that way. Right? People just began to hate the Patriots. We don't want to see the Patriots back. So I wonder if you'll get some of that with the Chiefs or not.
I think you already have it. Because I saw a lot of the maps of the United States, and it was like, the teams people want to win the Super Bowl, and, the immediate area around each of the teams were the only parts marked off for a team, and the rest of the United States, so 80% of the United States, was neither one of these teams.
Yeah. Yes. Like the Cowboys. Yes, Barbara Jean, everybody hates the Cowboys. Barbara Jean, this should make you happy. When the Cowboys lost their playoff game, there was a meme going around, and it said, picture of the last time the Cowboys had a championship parade. Everybody was in a buckboard and horses.
Yeah.
It was cruel. It was so cool.
So the 49ers and the Chiefs faced off in the 2020 Super Bowl, right?
Yes, and the Chiefs won there as well. The 49ers were up by 10 points in both games and lost both games.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes.
Does that mean we're just repeating a timeline? Because I'm not okay with that.
Patrick Mahomes is now 9-2 in playoff games where he's trailed.
9-2.
So the one
not
person,
a bad record.
So you always have this one player that costs you, right?
Yeah.
So Tom Brady, the Manning brothers cost him 3 Super Bowls, right, or more.
Yeah.
Right, and he was very, very successful. However, he cost Patrick Mahomes too, because they knocked them out of the AFC Championship game. Patriots go on to win the Super Bowl, and then he goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they play Kansas City in the Super Bowl, and they beat them in that Super Bowl. So he potentially cost Mahomes 2 of his titles.
Yeah,
which is
Mahomes and Kelsey now have what? They have 3 total Super Bowl wins. They're looking for 3 in a row.
3 in 4 years.
Yeah, 3 in 4 years.
Pretty impressive.
So was it the Buccaneers that is the reason why it's not 4 in 4 years?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Brady.
Yeah, Brady.
Yeah.
Brady.
Brady.
Yes.
Well, if they would just make sure those footballs are
3 and 5 years.
Properly inflated, then Tom Brady might not have as many rings as he had.
Susan Johnson's Kelsey's behavior is inexcusable. Not a good look for a professional athlete who should be able to control himself. Okay. I was going to go there later, but there's a whole story today of people that are...
So my husband put on the pregame stuff.
Yes.
Like super early.
Okay. So 6 a.m. or 5 a.m.? Because that's about what time the pregame stuff started.
Super early compared to the kickoff.
Yes.
So... I mean, I'm barely in it for the full length of a football game. I'm like hanging on by my fingernails with OT. He put on the pregame stuff at 3 p.m. So that feels super early for me.
Yes.
So we saw Andy Reid's pregame interview. And when they asked Andy Reid about Travis Kelce, he mentioned that when Travis started playing for him, that he had a huge temper and that's something that they've been working on and he's been working on getting under control this whole time. So I just thought it was interesting that he specifically mentioned that, and then we had that ugly scene, which you're right, is not a good look.
To me, it just looked like football, right? I've been around players that are intense players. And some of them were very, very good players, and that intensity level is what you dealt with. That's how they got themselves to where they were. So it didn't bother me. Now it
didn't bother the people that were commentating in the moment.
No.
You saw the veterans that are doing the voice work. They're just talking about it as if it's a normal interaction between a player and a coach. So I'm wondering if part of the seriously negative reaction to this is that there's such a microscope on Travis Kelce right now because of his relationship. And if it's because there are more female viewers of the game as a result of his relationship with Taylor Swift. And that's not the way females interact.
It's not. And that's where I was going with this. You make a great point, right? So first-time viewers of a Super Bowl and this kind of intensity level are like, oh my gosh, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
No, that's football, right? That's sports at a high level. You're going to be fired up. You're going to, the person that kind of sits back and says, well, I mean, Brock Purdy, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Incredibly nice guy. Did not win the Super Bowl yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job as a keeper, right? So you got to have that passion. You got to want it more than the other team wants it. Most of the time, the team that's willing to go that extra step and be fired up is the team that's going to then can maintain that intensity. And is the team that's going to win.
Travis Kelce is arguably the best tight end that has ever played, or at the very least within the top 3.
I'll put him there. Gronk is still amazing.
Okay.
If you go back and you look at some of what Gronk did, when Gronk was the guy for the Pats.
But when you're the highest achieving or among the highest achieving in a field of battle that is marked with aggression, then I think that's a little bit par for the course.
Yeah.
And I've seen commentary that he should have been benched by his coach. when the coach is asked about it, when Andy Reid's asked about it, he laughs. And so it doesn't seem to be something that phases him. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a fake laugh. He and his wife laughed about it. And so, I mean, that's just me looking at it as a female. It's a bad look because of the magnifying glass that he's under right now. And the audience that is suddenly attracted to him because they're not used to seeing that kind of intensity.
Aggressive behavior.
And aggression. And that's, like I said, it's just not the way females communicate. And so, but I see it from he's on a field of battle, and the way that the best view it is this is the last moment, this is the end all be all. And, my understanding is it happened when a fumble occurred and he wasn't on the field and he was demanding to be put back in.
Yeah, he said, I shouldn't have been out of that play.
Yeah.
The guy that was in on that play, I think, missed a block. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I wouldn't have missed the block. You need to keep me in the game, right?
Yeah.
But it was funny to me because I kept watching him on the sideline on third downs for quite a bit of the second half. So I don't know what the game plan was for the Chiefs. I'm not into that.
I'm inclined to agree with Troy that if he, because of the magnifying glass he's under, if he apologized and then he just never mentions it again, then...
Hey Coach, I'm sorry. I won you another Super Bowl. I mean, I think that's kind of the apology you're going to get from him, right?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry I won you another Super Bowl, right?
The Swifties are going to be demanding an apology.
Yeah. Barbara Jean, hi Susan, dare I ask, did you ever get your tile and your cookies? Yeah, we get cookies to people. I'm pretty sure we did.
Remember Pete stacked all those cookies up on the desk from Darcy?
Yeah.
Did you get any of those cookies,
I don't know.
Susan?
I don't know.
Did you get those or did he eat them all?
And there's no telling.
Yeah.
Andy would not have benched him. Would have played every play for the rest of the game. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the worst punishment? Sitting out and watching it?
Yeah.
And then you might become a pariah because Chiefs lose and you sat out Travis Kelce because he yelled at you?
It didn't bother me at all. I will say this, for the first time in probably 20 years, I did watch most of the halftime show.
Yeah.
I thought Usher did a really good job.
I was surprised Alicia Keys was there.
I am not an Usher fan. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you one song that he sings. I couldn't sing two lyrics strung together. Mm-hmm. But I thought he did a really good job. The young man can dance. I mean, it was really fun to kind of watch him. And I thought it wasn't an over-the-top kind of production. There was some crazy stuff going on in it, but that's kind of like all the Super Bowls now. But I thought he did a really, really good job. And like I said, I'm not an Usher fan. I'm not an Usher hater, but just I was impressed.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, Susan makes the point of it wasn't so much the yelling, the throwing the helmet, it's the shoving the coach. I mean.
Well, and Tim is saying his 10-year-old son watched all that and he's playing football now, right? I would advise a 10-year-old son not to go after a large 6'4" man who's coaching you. However, if he gets to the Super Bowl and he wants to win.
Yeah.
I have less comments about that. So if Kelce did that and then couldn't go out there and perform, right, and win the game and make great plays, then I'd have a different opinion. So
yeah, I don't like the contact. Yeah. I mean, that's why I agree with Troy that an apology wouldn't hurt. Because it's one thing to be intense and yell. It's another to bump him. I didn't see it as a full shove. I saw it as he's rushing towards his coach. But contact is contact.
So just asking, since Andy Reid is a pretty old guy, was it elder abuse? Was it borderline elder abuse? So I'm just asking for a friend. I don't know.
That's why it looks so bad is because Andy Reid is a vital man. He's not a weakling, but he's caught off guard, which is what he says in his comments, is that he surprised him. He didn't see him coming. And so he's caught off guard. And so he looks like an older man that is being harassed by a young man. And whether or not Andy Reid could deck Travis Kelce isn't really the argument. I mean, perhaps he could. I wouldn't count him out. But it's just, it doesn't look good at all. I don't know how hard the hit was, but I don't like contact.
I don't know. Troy, Mike has seen me act worse in the field of battle. I've seen you act worse in the studio. I've seen you be completely disrespectful of Amanda's views.
I mean, I wasn't going to say
anything. We still love you, but I mean completely disrespectful.
We mostly love you because you're such a snazzy dresser.
Amanda has a thing for hats.
I do.
Just a thing for hats. That's the only reason.
And trivia guys, what can I say? That's why I'm always here on Thursday.
All right. The other thing that always is a big deal is Super Bowl ads.
Yeah.
Did you comments on the ads? What was your favorite ad? I had one that I laughed the entire way through.
They were kind of a non-issue for me. There weren't any super standouts to me. I did notice the Clydesdale one. That's about the only one I can really, that and the Beyonce one, which I thought was interesting that they busted out the Beyonce actually said the "Can you hear me now?" line, because that was the infamous Verizon commercial when she was just becoming famous.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
I thought the funniest one was the Ben Affleck, J-Lo.
Oh, that one was funny.
Matt Damon. I thought that was, Tom Brady made a cameo in that one. I laughed so hard in that one. I thought it was so funny.
I thought Matt Damon really sold that one. That was great.
Yeah. Yes. Ben Affleck was my favorite one.
I don't like J-Lo at all.
Honestly, if there's an award for ads, I want Ben Affleck to get that one.
That was the best
one. Yes, it was the best one.
That was the only funny one that I really remember.
Matt Damon's response to putting on the outfit and, hey, I always told you I'd be there for you, but I never thought you'd ask me to do something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. Thought J-Lo was great in that. The Brady appearance was good. It was just really kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So Duncan got their $7 million out of that.
I had to explain that to my parents because my parents they didn't understand that, especially Massachusetts, but New England is very Dunkin' Donuts is the best coffee, and they really don't like Starbucks up there, so they didn't understand that.
No, when you're in Boston, there's a Dunkin' Donuts every 2 blocks. You do not have to go far for a Dunkin' Donuts.
No, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's the gangster rap of my high school years, East Coast, West Coast. It's Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks in the coffee battle.
Bobby, the Christopher Walken one, I thought was a poor imitation. There's my dad joke of the day.
Right.
That's my dad joke of the day. It's a poor imitation.
I heard he was in it because other people reacted to him being in it, but I was doing dishes.
I thought that one was pretty good too, but I still, the Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
What about the one washing feet? Did you see the washing feet?
I saw the washing feet one.
Comments on that?
So I appreciated that ad, but I don't know that as many people understood what was happening and why. Because again, I had to explain that when there was some confusion amongst our partiers as to what was going on.
Okay.
And so I don't know that was as accessible to people outside of the Catholic and Episcopalian traditions.
Okay. I thought that one was was well done. It made you think. It wasn't the typical Super Bowl kind of fare of an ad, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Rundown. There was
well, the Super Bowl has turned down faith-based commercials in the past.
Yes.
Particularly from faith-based organizations that are trying to spread a pro-life message.
Yep.
And so what was most notable to me was that ad was allowed to happen at all.
Yes.
Because they haven't always been friendly about taking money from Christian causes, sharing Christian messages.
I thought it was a very interesting ad. A series of ads. So I didn't have any real issues. Yeah. I love it when you try to pull up the favorite ad story and you've watched it, and then it's nah, we don't want you to see this. We don't want you to see this. And then we're going to play the commercial that you definitely don't want to see. Yeah, I thought there was some decent, I love it when they don't want to show you what you actually signed up for.
So Melissa, the foot washing ad, I think, was that, or Bobby, it was for an organization called He Gets Us, and it's all about sharing the gospel of Jesus and shining the light of Jesus into the world. And so this is the organization that the foot washing ad was.
I thought it was interesting because it had a lot of interesting pairings of people washing feet and others, and I thought that was very thought provoking, and I did not have a problem with that at all.
Like I said, I was more surprised that they allowed the ad to go forward.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought there was actually 2 faith-based ads in there, and I enjoyed both of those, and so I was all in for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I overall I thought it was a pretty good game. It was the longest Super Bowl because it went so deep into overtime.
When the ref announced OT and he goes through the rules and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna restart a brand new game," and he goes through, the 3 timeouts for each team. Each team gets a possession. If it's still tied after each team has a possession, it's the first one that scores. It's like, man, could we have just opted out of the 4-hour game and just taken this little mini game? Because I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up early.
That's called penalty kicks in soccer.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's penalty kicks in soccer when you do that, or the shootout at the end of a hockey game.
Yeah.
No, the interesting is there were players on both sides who did not know the new rules.
Yeah.
Because they changed the rules for the Super Bowl and the playoffs, because before it was just a sudden death.
Yeah.
So if you got the ball first and you score first, the New England Patriots, when they beat the Atlanta Falcons, right? They scored first. That was the end of the game. So then they changed the rules so both teams could possess the ball. And that made it a much more interesting game. But even the guy that caught the pass for the Chiefs said he didn't know they had won the game.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes had to tell him, we just won the game. He thought the game was going to keep going on. Yeah.
He was the receiver.
Yes. And as my boys told me, the Chiefs cut him, right? Or let him go. They traded him to the Jets. No offense to Jets fans, but that's where careers go to die, is the Jets.
Sorry.
So he gets let go of the Jets, and then the Chiefs pick him back up again, and then he wins the Super Bowl.
And then he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yep, second overtime in Super Bowl.
The people in my house were, once we went into overtime, were wondering if Travis Kelce was going to win the Super Bowl, the game-clinching catch, and then get down on his knee and propose. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen because this is not a Hollywood movie.
No.
This is actual life. It's not going to be him.
No, because when that game was over, he and the whole team wanted to go out and party in Vegas.
Well, someone asked him at one of the pre-game press conferences, who's going to get a ring first, the 49ers or Taylor Swift? And he's kind of thrown for a second. You see his face kind of like, and then he's like, I'm hoping I'm the one that gets the ring on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah.
I mean, I feel for them, the fact that everyone's like, you guys seem to love each other. When are you getting married? Right here, right now.
Barbara Jean, he had his best days with the Packers, then with the Vikings. He had an incredible couple of games with the Vikings and an incredible run with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But that's
when
where
people hear Brett Favre, they don't think Jets.
They don't think Jets. They're like, no. That's like thinking of Michael Jordan playing for the Wizards.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's not the Michael Jordan I want to remember.
Wasn't that his baseball team?
No,
that was the basketball team he went to when he came out of retirement.
Came out of retirement again.
So that's an interesting one, going back to the Travis Kelce, Andy Reid thing.
Yes.
Because we all saw Michael Jordan as this like super wholesome champion that everyone could get behind. And evidently he was like crazy intense and kind of a jerk to be around.
Yes.
Because he wanted everyone to be as intense as he was.
The practice players that he had to go against had to go to therapy.
Yeah. Because he was that intense.
He was that intense, and he was giving them the business.
What we're saying is like, those men literally had to go to therapy. And I mean, Scottie Pippen talked about how hard it was to be his teammate. I mean, when Lance Armstrong, I know there was the whole doping thing and everything, but he also was the best in the world and on top of the heap in his sport for a long time.
Okay, we should not use him as an example because of the things he did to his teammates.
But he was also like super intense, and he treated everybody like garbage. So like there's a level of intensity and aggression that just kind of comes with being on top of a sport.
Well, I've said for the longest time, when Tiger Woods was married with kids and cheating all over the place, he was the greatest golfer in the world. When they found out about the cheating and his wife left him, he wasn't the greatest golfer in the world anymore. It's almost like he needed that occupying his mind so that he could concentrate
Well,
on golf.
it seemed like he needed the appearance of being the wholesome husband.
I think he
dad.
needed that too.
And the second everyone knew how ugly his life really was.
Yeah.
And also that his wife was the one that got the hole-in-one.
Yeah. I'm also going to tell you that.
Do you think she hit him? That's the speculation.
I don't know, but I will tell you this.
Because he had a head wound and there was a car accident. And that's how it all broke. And there was speculation that she hit him with his club.
I don't know what she hit him with or did not hit him with.
Yeah.
But I will say this, when he came back and he began playing competitively and had some good game tournaments left in him, it was fun to watch again.
Yeah.
So regardless of where he felt, I was like, well, it's fun to watch Tiger be competitive again.
Yeah.
Because he was for the longest time, Troy and I used to pick golf matches, right? We'd pick the five majors, which the Masters and the Opens and the PGA and the TPC. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, it was boring to just pick Tiger. So you got Tiger and one other person.
Yeah.
Because you knew you were going to pick Tiger.
Everyone
it was a wasted pick if you didn't have Tiger in there. And you were crazy if you didn't pick. So let's make it interesting.
You were betting on who was number two?
You got Tiger, and then if Tiger was having an off week, you got one other guy to go with. And so the other guy got the entire field, which was still a pretty tough bet when Tiger was playing extremely well. So it was a fun bet to have. All right.
That
Friday,
was an unfortunate fall. I didn't enjoy that.
Completely switching gears. Yep. Friday, the special counsel, comes out with a report and says that Joe Biden is a meaningful old man, or well-meaning
He's
old
a
man.
well-meaning old man
who doesn't have the mental capability to stand trial.
Well, it's a good thing that laws don't apply to you if you're well-meaning.
Yes.
I mean, does that mean I don't have to pay speeding tickets or parking tickets if I'm well-meaning? What if I was speeding to do charity work? What if I was parking that way so that I could get in and save a baby? You don't know. I'm well-meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want laws to apply to me either if I don't feel like following them.
I think you're missing the whole well-meaning. I was going for the cognitive part. You stopped on well-meaning. I was like, I think the cognitive part is more important.
Well, I stopped on the well-meaning because the Hillary Clinton thing was, she mishandled classified documents. Yes, this is against the law, but we don't think she meant to. And so they didn't charge her.
Yes. Well,
that's why I stopped on the well-meaning, because there's a pattern here.
There are people inside the Justice Department that have said this is exactly like Hillary's emails. Then this is going to play out exactly the way Hillary's emails. This is not going away. People get just what you said. If I'm trying to do something well-meaning and you're not famous or you're not a politician, you don't have connections, you will pay a price for that. You will get the ticket. You will have to pay the ticket. You will have to do all of those things. Mm-hmm. But if you're famous and if you're a politician, especially it seems like if you're a Democrat politician.
If you're famous and you give to the right people.
You get a pass on that. And it's a very simple thing for the average person to see. And so that's, the stories that I read is Biden wanted all this Afghan information because he was convinced that Obama sending additional troops into Afghanistan was a mistake. It was Vietnam. It was terrible. It was horrible. And he wanted to have the information to prove in the future that he had been right. Now, how?
So then he recreates the exodus from Vietnam with Afghanistan?
Listen,
it didn't help him having those files.
No.
Bobby makes an excellent point. He can't tolerate standing trial, but he can be the leader of the free world.
Well, that's kind of
I guess that's in our hands, Bobby.
Well, Bobby, here's the other one. A friend of mine today told me, he said, he had seen a cartoon and it said, are you going to vote for the one with bad memory who can't be prosecuted? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to vote for the one who has a good working memory who can be prosecuted? Those are our choices this year. The old man that can remember and the old man that can't remember. That's our choices.
You know, it's funny. What I just realized, I had a memory pop up on Facebook. You know how things you shared in the past, you can see your memories this day. X number of years ago. And over the weekend, a memory popped up, and it was a meme I had shared of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, and that they had
baking cookies.
They had collectively been paid something like $27 million for their memoirs for two people that have repeatedly said under oath that I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
There seems to be a memory loss problem in the Democratic Party.
I think that's a convenient memory loss problem.
Isn't it?
Yes, it's very, very convenient.
Maybe that Men in Black flashy stick that wipes your memories, maybe it's real, only Democrats in Washington, D.C. are the only ones that have access.
And then I don't know. It's not a good look. And then the press conference that he held afterwards was
a nightmare.
Complete debacle.
They were like, okay, we've got to do some damage control. We will get him all hepped up on goofballs and send him out there. He can hold it together for a single press conference. No, he cannot.
But the thing coming out of that, right, is people talked about the press conference, how bad it was, and they weren't talking about the charges. So in some ways, they did turn the narrative, right? They did twist a little bit. And then
that is the smallest silver lining you could possibly pull for that.
And then Democrats are saying, well, we need to get him out there more often. And I'm like, are you trying to get him off the ticket?
He's going to die on stage.
Are you trying to get him off the ticket? Because that would be the worst thing you could possibly do, is to put him out there to get...
Even James Carville's like, this ain't it, y'all.
Even when he seems to be with it, which is not often in my mind when I watch him speaking.
Has he been with it since 2012?
He's yelling at you.
Oh, yeah.
He's yelling
or the creepy whisper.
Yeah.
The only time he can string a sentence together is when he's yelling or doing the creepy whisper. It ain't that hard, folks. It's so...
I'm not a fan of the creepy whisper.
I'm not either.
I'm just not.
Intense eye contact, creepy whisper, old man. Nope. Back up.
Yeah, too close.
My parents told me not to talk to that guy. Stranger danger. That's why there is stranger danger.
Yeah, I look at that and I said, I thought the press conference was bad. The optics going forward. Mm-hmm. If you want to prove that you're old, act old. Yeah. Right? And he's doing a great job of acting old. He is doing a phenomenal. What's that?
Maybe Hillary Rodham Clinton can write books about housekeeping because she was good at cleaning stuff up in her past.
I don't think it's housekeeping she was good at cleaning up.
No?
I think it was messes that she was good, and they were personal messes. Mm-hmm. You know, what do they call it? The bimbo eruption team? That's what they called it. You're too young to remember. The bimbo eruption team.
No.
Yes, that's what they call
bimbo it. Bimbo eruption?
That if a bimbo came out of Bill's past, they had to clean that up.
I'm fact checking this. That can't be real.
James Carville, whenever... I'm
actually...
What do you expect? He said, what do you expect when you drag a $20 bill through a trailer park? About Paula Jones. Wow. That was the comment. Yes. I don't forget these things. My memory still works, and I don't have to
Washington
whisper.
Post, there it is.
See?
The former Clinton aide who coined the term bimbo eruptions. That is such a double entendre.
Tim O'Neill, drag a $100 bill through a trailer park. Usually you can find Tim at one end of that $100 bill.
Duh. Which end?
I don't know. I'm not commenting. And I'm not judging either. I'm not going to judge or comment. yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude.
Drag a $100 bill through a trailer park and look what you can get. Yeah.
Wow.
No. I got a comment from Tim that Wilderness was good today and that I missed it.
Well, you know.
A few weeks from now, I'll be sending him that message all week long. Just a few weeks.
We're going to put that in the comment section of your podcast, Tim.
Yes, we are, Tim. You can come sit in here and I will troll you, buddy.
Oh, he's not going to be here. Tim, do you want to come and tell all kinds of embarrassing stories about Mike Davis?
There's lots of them.
We can do that.
Yeah, we get 100%.
We could do a Mike Davis roast while you're surfing.
I have one. I have a story. I'm going to try to save this one for later in the week. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I'll save it for the end of the week.
That seems fitting.
I'll just save, I was going to maybe do the story today, but since we've already dealt with the end of the world as we know it because of the people running for president, and the end of the world we know it as chivalry and civility on the sidelines in the NFL is all gone, right?
Yeah.
And I will say this, though. The only good thing about seeing Taylor Swift is I got to see less of the other celebrities, which is a personal pet peeve of mine, which I railed against all last week. People that can ill afford, it's like $10,000 a ticket to $50,000 a ticket.
It was 12. Louis looked it up. It was 12 for the cheapest tickets.
Ridiculous, right? A ridiculous amount of money to go to a football game. First of all, I don't want to be around that many people.
So they do the celeb cam, and they go around, and they did show celebs at one point. And so it kind of... what's your reaction to this? So Leonardo DiCaprio is in the billionaire box. Because you have to be a billionaire to be able to drop $1.2 million on a box.
Yeah.
All right, so Leonardo DiCaprio's in there. He knows that the celeb cam's going around. He hides his face. He doesn't look up. I'm not here, hat down. Like, okay, you're going to put me on the Megatron, but I'm going to hide my face. Jeff Goldblum, they go to Jeff Goldblum, and he's just talking to his friends. And then one of them's like, hey, the camera's on you. He finds the camera, and he's waving. He's doing little heart hands. He's like thanking people for caring. And then like it goes around to the other celebrities, and a lot of them didn't notice or whatever, but they weren't like actively trying to hide their face. So what is your opinion? Should you actively hide if you're a celebrity in one of those boxes, or should you pull a Jeff Goldblum and be gracious and loving and like send out positive energy?
I think you stay home.
Okay, well, we're beyond that.
And
you're
then
in the box.
You turn around and you take your money and you let some fan who's been going for years and you buy him a ticket.
We already heard this. I'm asking a question.
I'd rather be the one that says, hey, I'm happy that you saw me. Yeah. I'm going to wave. I'm going to do all that. You're a celebrity. You wanted to be a celebrity, so be happy about being a celebrity.
You're an actor.
My thing about
you're
Leonardo,
rich because other people are there praising
you. My thing about Leonardo is who was around him in the box.
It was all dudes.
No way.
Yeah, it was all dudes.
No.
Well, it's only like you can only see the dude, that guy directly to one side and like two in the foreground. Yeah, he has a reputation.
There's jokes that
it was too late for his dates to come out past curfew.
There were jokes at the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
That by the time this ceremony is over, Leonardo DiCaprio's dates will be too old for him.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think that was maybe that was Ricky Gervais's joke a few years ago. It may have been. I just remember that.
Here's the thing, like,
yeah,
he's the one creepy guy that I feel like I don't love his actions, but there's lots of creepy guys in Hollywood that they could be poking fun at for their dating habits.
Yeah.
Why is Leonardo DiCaprio? Because he got an Oscar, so suddenly like he's the one.
No, I'll give you the real reason that Hollywood picks on him: jealousy, because they want to be the ones dating those girls.
Yeah.
That's the sole reason. It's a really simple answer. It's just go with
or they want to be the girls that he's taking with him on the yacht.
Go with the simplest answer.
You could go with that.
It's usually the right
Occam's razor.
Yes. All right. 5 questions. Yep. We got 13 minutes to do 5 questions.
All right.
And we really would love input from you guys. So type in your answers.
In the comments.
For the rest of your life, you are only allowed to watch one sport. Mm-hmm. What sport would you pick? I'll go because I've had time to think about this.
Yeah.
It was an easy answer. In my office, it was an easy answer. NCAA football. College football is what I would watch. I find that to be the most exciting sport.
Yeah.
College football. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to like soccer, though, which is scaring me.
Get out.
There's no ads.
Get out.
There's no ads.
And then the soccer players are in the Super Bowl ads.
There's no ads. I thought that was a good ad. That was a good ad. Although there's no way that Marino could have thrown a round ball that far.
All those guys walk up to the bar and they point to the McUltra tap handle. Yeah. And I was like, they can't even bring themselves to say it.
Yeah.
They're just pointing. They're so ashamed they're just pointing.
Well, they wanted dad water.
And then
it's called dad water. That's what they call it in college.
And they kick a soccer ball, and I was like, oh, that tracks. That's why they want McUltra.
Yes. They wanted some dad water. That's what that's called.
That's funny.
All right. Your first Valentine gift that you received, that you remember receiving.
That I remember receiving.
Yeah.
So I was at church, and Patrick O'Donnell gave me a little heart-shaped box of chocolates. And I didn't even know he had a crush on me. And then his dad was in the military. His dad got transferred to Egypt, and he left right after.
Based on your luck, what he's the CEO of what mega billion-dollar company right now?
He went to Egypt and I lost track of it.
He is probably in charge of some multi-billion-dollar company.
But he was my ginger
crying
little Christian
himself
boy
to sleep every
that
night.
Gave me a box of chocolates.
Box of chocolate. Mine would have been as a kid. Mom went over the top with all of the holidays, but Valentine's Day, you always got a lot of chocolate and a lot of candy and that kind of stuff. And so it was really cool. Yeah, Mom was an over the top gift giver on those things. So as a kid, you always kind of look forward to it. You never knew what exactly it was going to be, but you're like, this is going to be cool. This will be fun. So yes. And occasionally when you got into high school, it was an embarrassingly stuff. You're like, no, Mom, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Mm-hmm. Then the next year would just be even more embarrassing. So you learn to say, yes, I love this. And you just put in the car.
I don't know if this is too much information, but my mother-in-law, when all of her sons turned 16, she started giving them a giant box of condoms, like a giant box of condoms.
Yes.
Or like a grocery bag of condoms.
Yes.
And then once they turned 18, she's like, I want grandkids. And she stopped giving it to them.
Well,
she just wanted them to get through high school.
Just get through high school. Well, I've always said that there's an interesting thing that happens when you're dating a girl. Uh-huh. So you begin dating her, let's say you're in high school or college or whatever, and the dad clearly is giving you the signal.
Yeah.
Do not touch my daughter. If you touch my daughter, I'll kill you. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the signal that you're getting.
Yeah.
Right? Walk down the aisle, you're married. 30 seconds after you're married, you're not even done with pictures. Mm-hmm. And your father-in-law is telling you, when are we going to have grandkids? You're like, seriously, now? Yeah. For the last X number of years, it was, do not touch my daughter. Mm-hmm. Now you're like, hey, you guys want to go in the back and so we can have grandkids in like 9 months? I mean, it's literally, that's the change that goes on.
Well,
you are like, tell me, you're not in the club, you're not in the club, you're not in the club, you're married, but you're in the club. Let's go, let's get this done. I know. That's exactly the way it is.
So I was a teenager during the purity rings, true love waits, like you would have people had ceremonies at church where the dad gave like a wedding band style ring to his daughter and she signed a purity pledge and all of that. So I was a teenager and starting to date with all of that stuff going on.
Yes.
And it was like the girls that had gone through that ceremony, they had like a ring, like a wedding ring type ring on their finger. And like, it was a whole thing. And so it was such a surreal experience for me to go from stay pure, don't have sex until you're married, to instantly have a baby. When are you going to have a baby? Oh, I've got a headache. Are you pregnant? And then you tell everybody you're pregnant, and suddenly it's not enough that they just want you to do it. Now they want to know like how it happened. Like, when did you get pregnant? Like, give me details. And you're like, Grandma, I don't want to talk about this. Like, I don't want to tell you Grandma, like, how this happened.
I know you want to live vicariously through me, but no. The answer is no. So I know you think Louie's hot, but no, we're not going to do this.
It's such a weird transition to go from no one touch you ever, don't let anyone touch you, to like, okay, so was your honeymoon fun? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
To like, I'm pregnant. Tell me exactly how it happened and whether it was fun or not.
It's terrible for you. Don't have sex. It's the worst thing you can ever do. Hey, did you enjoy the honeymoon? What are you talking about? You just told me it was horrible 2 weeks ago.
It's so weird.
It's a very funny thing how that happens. Like literally.
You're not prepared for that.
You say 4 words. I do twice, right? And it, boom, that's it.
Really? You say 2 words, but 2 words squared.
Yes, I do. And they say I do, and that's it. And all of a sudden, it's like Katie barred the door. All right, favorite Valentine's Day candy?
Favorite candy? I am a dark chocolate with sea salt caramel girl.
I'm just dark chocolate.
I don't want like a mixed box of chocolates. I just want all dark chocolate with caramel. Mm-hmm. Chocolate covered caramel, but dark chocolate covered sea salt caramel. Ghirardelli.
Ghirardelli's awesome. Mm-hmm. I actually thought that was like a foreign candy.
Yeah.
And then I went out to California, to San Francisco, and I realized it was...
that's foreign.
No, but I realized it is foreign to me. But I realized it was an American company. I was like, man, I love this company even more. So I just didn't know the history of the company.
Their dark chocolate, their sea salt caramel with, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Dark chocolate M&Ms if you can find them. Oh, those are good too.
Barbara T, a single Hershey's Kiss. It better be that super megaton Hershey Kiss if you're just getting one.
Listen, if it came from Davy, one's enough. She'd be perfect because
Bobby's
you know what?
Dark chocolate kisses.
Because hers would be wrapped in purple. Mm-hmm. That's exactly.
They sell those. Those used to be hugs. The purple Hershey's Kisses.
Yes.
They were hugs.
They were hugs.
And they were white chocolate and milk chocolate. And then they had dark chocolate and milk and white chocolate.
All right. So favorite Valentine or date movie?
All right. So date night movie. It's not a Valentine's movie.
Yes.
But Louie and I love My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
And we can watch it over and over again. And so, but we also will do like a bad movie night where you pick an intentionally bad movie.
Yes.
And you kind of set up some like bad movie drinking game rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a super fun date night also.
Yes.
So we watched Velocipaster on a bad movie date night. It was terrible.
Man.
So funny. It's so bad, but he knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And so there's a moment where in the very beginning, so it's not like a super spoiler, but his parents die. They get hit by a car.
No one's watching this but you, so you're
so
okay.
Funny. They're making a sequel. They're making Velocipaster 2.
Oh my God.
So someone hits his parents with a car and they die. And that happens right in front of him when he's standing on the church house steps. But they didn't have budget for a car accident. And so it's just a black screen and it's like car accident footage here.
Oh God.
So great.
That's funny.
It's so bad.
No, that is, so for me, I wanted something, that had a lot of loyalty and love, along, kind of that same where I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I think Predator is the perfect Valentine's Day movie. It's just
Time to go,
awesome.
folks.
It's just fantastic.
Darcy.
Now, Casablanca is probably the best romance. I think Casablanca is a phenomenal classic movie. Yeah, that one's really, really good. Sleepless in Seattle, kind of a little bit. That's another good one that's pretty good in there.
But the mom dies. Why do the moms always have to die?
I know, and Tom Hanks
Hollywood,
is so
what do
lonely.
you got against your mother?
I don't know, but he finds Meg Ryan.
He does find Meg Ryan.
So there is a happy ending to that.
I mean, if I die, I hope
what do
Louis
you think
finds
his first wife
Meg
thought
Ryan.
about that?
She was hot.
You're finding Meg Ryan? Who was the first wife? Do you remember who the actress?
I don't remember who the actress was. She wasn't super big. I'll look her up.
I don't remember. I do not remember this. All right, last question. You guys keep this classy in answering this question. Because believe me, there was 4 questions that got thrown out today that there was no way to keep them classy.
Oh, man.
So keep it classy, San Diego. Do you like or
You're in St.
dislike
Augustine, so you don't
a
have to.
massage? Massage. For me, I think they're great. I do a lot of surfing. I beat my body up, and I have a great massage therapist, and she does a wonderful job. You had asked the question about male or female. I've had both. I really don't care. I just want them to be good at fixing me. So
Fix me. I'm broken.
yeah, as long as my muscles feel better the next day, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I never really bothered me one way or the other. I know some people are very sensitive about that.
Yeah.
Either way, but not me. And then I have a friend who will not let someone touch his back. Will not.
Will not. Carrie Lowell.
I know her.
I mean, she's good looking.
She was in Law and Order, was she not? Yes, she was. She was in Law
That's
and
the
Order.
first wife.
She was in Law and Order.
Okay.
She was one of the later editions, like season 27 of Law and Order. She was Jack McCoy's assistant for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I love a massage. I don't care if you're male or female. But I do like I like intense pressure. I hold all of my
Which is why
all
you
of
do
my
this
tension
show.
in my neck and shoulders, and with rheumatoid arthritis, massage is really good for you. So it's I need you to work for it. I'm not there for the little like rub, pat.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there and work it. So I don't care your gender. I just want you to do a good job.
I'm the same way. That has never bothered me. It's like, I want to, but the other one is, haven't had back injuries and things like that, right? That I've had to kind of work through, and hip injuries and stuff. There's too much pressure too.
Yeah.
And being able to tell them, hey, that's a little too deep is still, I'm like, nah, we're not, no. Because I've had friends that have gone to somebody who's not a very good massage therapist, and they'll hurt for like a week and a half. And I'm like, that is not the goal of
That's
going.
not the goal.
The goal is to feel better the next day.
Yeah.
So,
So massage therapist always tell me, like, let me know if the pressure is too intense. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you can get too intense for me. And so,
Well, listen, if you're watching Velocipaster and drinking, you'll probably be okay. You're probably going to be okay.
I'm a tough chick.
All right. We survived the Super Bowl. The NFL season is over. The reason I know how many years I am is because I was around for the very first Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah?
I was, yeah.
So you're 58?
I will be 58 this year. That's how I know. There's a whole class of us born in 66. So we know when that Super Bowl is and how old we are. So it's really cool. But yeah, it was there were some good parts of the season. There were some horrible parts of the season. And
Well, that's always the case.
That's kind of the way it goes. College football was the same way if you were a Seminole fan.
Yeah, it wasn't great for Clemson fans either.
It wasn't good for you guys either. All right, you guys have a great night. Davey will be here tomorrow. We have guests tomorrow. We'll have a studio full of people.
Packed house.
Packed house. Tune in tomorrow morning to the morning show. Get the latest updates on the Florida Man games. 12 days.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.